Today, I'm gonna be breaking down the exact workout split that you need to get lean at home, okay? So if you do not wanna step foot in the gym, then I got you. But just as a disclaimer, we don't just need to lose body fat in order to look lean. You need to make sure you have enough muscle mass on your body and a low body fat percentage to see the muscle peeking through. Now, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you ladies. I do prefer the gym if you want to see faster progress and you just have so much more machines and weights that you can use to challenge yourself, but you can still see good results training at home, just like my client Kaya here, who lost 30 pounds doing at-home dumbbell-only workouts. My client Colleen got super lean. She only does at-home dumbbell-only workouts, and my client Janelle does at-home workouts as well. So if you have the right structured training program, you're training with progressive overload at home, and you have the right nutrition plan, you still can get lean and toned, but I will say I'm a gym girly through and through. So here's what we're gonna be covering today. Number one, the science behind getting lean. Number two, the exact at-home workout split that you need to get lean. And number three, how to customize this to fit it into your own schedule and lifestyle. Just as a side note, I'm also gonna link some at-home workout equipment that I recommend you can get from Amazon in the description. So check that out if you wanna build your own at-home gym. But first off, let's talk about how to actually get lean, because like I mentioned, we don't just need to keep losing more fat and more weight. You need to make sure that you have muscle on your body. That's what gives you that toned and lean look and can also add more shape to your body. So a lot of women overlook this and they keep focusing on the fat loss part, which is important, but you need to make sure you have a solid foundation of muscle mass on your body to see the muscle peeking through. Now, this workout split I'm about to show you will not work if you, one, don't have the right nutrition protocols, two, you're not training with progressive overload, and three, you're not consistent enough. You need all three of these things in order to get lean and see results. So at the end of the video, I will be touching on nutrition a little bit as well, but let's get into the workout split. This is going to be a 4-day at-home workout split. Yes, that's right, only 4 lifting days, and you're gonna have 3 full rest days. That's because recovery is just as important if you want to build muscle and change your body composition. So I am gonna put the whole workout split here so you can take a screenshot, but we're just doing 2 lower body days and 2 upper body days. We are gonna be hitting day 1, and this is a lower body workout. The first exercise is going to be a dumbbell goblet squat. But before I get into this, I wanna make sure that you are actually challenging yourself with heavier weights over time. If you only have 5-pound dumbbells, that's okay to start, but over time you are gonna need to increase the weight. So make sure you have access to different weights. You can get an adjustable dumbbell set on Amazon, just so you don't have to keep buying more and more sets of dumbbells. Now we're gonna get into the actual exercise. So you're just gonna pick up the dumbbell and you wanna hold it at your chest like this. And this is actually gonna be more of a quad focused squat. So I'm gonna have my feet about shoulder width apart with my toes pointed out. I'm keeping my chest up and I'm slowly going to squat down as far as I can and slowly come up. So if you watch from the side, I'm not leaning forward like this. You wanna keep your chest up as much as you can. And this is mainly going to be feeling this in your quads. And notice how I'm really slow on the way down, and then I'm really slow on the way up as well. Do not lock your knees out at the top. So we're gonna do 4 sets of 12 reps. Now we're doing everyone's favorite, the Bulgarian split squat. I know these are challenging, but these are such a great exercise for your overall glutes and your quads. You can do this on a table or a couch or a chair. Ideally, for the best setup, you wanna sit down on the chair or whatever you're using, and then you're gonna put one leg out in front, your working leg, and wherever it lands when you stand up, this is now gonna be the perfect stance for you to do your Bulgarian split squat. So if you struggle with balance, you can hold on to like a couch or again, another chair, or maybe onto your wall just as you're practicing. You can always start off doing these body weight as well. So I'm gonna pick up the dumbbell, and you can do this with one dumbbell in one hand and like a hand on something else for stability, or you could hold 2 dumbbells. I honestly like doing it with one heavier dumbbell. So I'm going to put my back leg up, and then we're just slowly going to come down all the way and push through. You should really be feeling this in your glute here. And notice how I'm slightly hinged forward. I'm not upright like this. I'm hinged forward because this puts more stretch on your glute. And you're gonna do 3 sets of 12 on each side. Next exercise is my all-time favorite, which is a dumbbell RDL. And notice how I don't got shoes on, okay? So I'd actually rather you do these barefoot. Actually, I'd prefer that you do your lower body workouts barefoot because you can push through your feet evenly and spread your toes. Now, if you're someone who thinks that RDLs hurt your back, do not give up on them. You're just doing them wrong, okay? Because when you do them right, you won't feel it in your back. You feel it all in your glutes. So I'm gonna pick up the dumbbells, and with an RDL, you wanna have your feet shoulder width apart and your feet are pointing forward. And when you're doing this, you want to start by having your shoulders back, and then I'm simply pushing my hips back. So it's not a squat. You don't think like squatting up and down. I want you to think about pushing your hips back, and notice how I'm keeping the dumbbells very, very close to my body. You want to make sure that your knuckles are pretty much gliding down your legs. You don't want to have the dumbbells out there because it's going to hurt your back if you do it that way. So I'm pushing my hips back, and I want to stop right here just below my knee, and then you're simply standing up. There's no need to squeeze your glutes at the top. You just simply stand up, and you will feel this all in your glutes. So you're going to do 4 sets of 10, and you want to do these very slow and controlled. Girl, I'm interrupting this video right now to tell you that if you're getting value from the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me. But let's get back into the workout, okay? Next is going to be a dumbbell step up. Now, ideally, you want to do these on a very flat and sturdy surface. I don't recommend doing these on a couch because you're not going to have stability. So if you have something like this, like a box or a bench or something that can really hold all of your weight and is super stable, that is going to be ideal. So when you're doing step ups, you actually don't want to think of them as a step up. You want to think of it as a step down, and you really want to feel that slow eccentric when you're coming down. So ideally, you want to also be able to hold on to something, maybe like, the back of a couch or a wall or something, but you're going to grab the dumbbell. And when I'm stepping up, notice how I have a slight hinge in my hips. I'm not like this. And I'm also not putting my foot back up here. I'm leaving it down like this. And this is where you actually want to feel the movement is slow on the way down. So you don't want to bounce or use momentum, but this is where I'm really controlling the movement is on the way down. And you will really feel this in your glutes and quads. So you're going to do 3 sets of 12 on each side. Lastly, we are going to do some glute bridges. You're going to do 3 sets of 15 here. So what you're going to do is take the dumbbell and you are going to put it right here on your hips. It is kind of uncomfortable, but you could also roll up like a sweater or a blanket or something just to kind of protect your hips. And so I'm just going to slowly lower myself down, and we're pretty much just going to thrust up and squeeze our glutes at the top. And you want to really slow on the way down. So I'm coming up, I'm getting the full hip extension, squeezing my glutes, slowly coming down. You should be feeling this all in the booty. Make sure that your feet placement is good too. You don't want your feet too far out, and you don't want them too close. So you want to have them kind of like in the middle here, where you should really be pushing through your feet and just feeling this all in your glutes. Now we are on to day 2, which is a push day. This is chest, shoulders, and triceps. So we're going to start off with doing 4 sets of 10 dumbbell floor chest press. So you're going to take your dumbbells, you're going to have a mat or whatever you want to lay on, and then you're going to slowly lean back. And I'm going to start here like this. And you want to kind of have a slight arch in your lower back. And I'm just going to push up with the dumbbells. And notice how I don't have my elbows flared out to the side like this. You actually want them in, kind of making like a triangle. You're going to come all the way down to the ground and slowly push up. And again, we're going to do 4 sets of 10 here. Now we're going to do a standing dumbbell shoulder press. This is going to be 4 sets of 10 as well. So you're going to take your dumbbells and make sure that you have your elbows slightly in front like this. You don't want them out to the side because this is going to injure your shoulder. So have them kind of in the front like this, and then I'm gonna slowly push up and slowly come down. It's all about the eccentric and slow tempo. Also notice, try not to clink the dumbbells together at the top. You wanna really control the movement and also not like bouncing or using momentum. You wanna do this really slow and controlled. Next is going to be a dumbbell lateral raise. Now, when you're doing these, you also wanna remember having your arms slightly out in front. You're not ever pulling them straight out to the side like this. For almost all like shoulder pressing and chest press movements, you wanna have your arms making almost like a triangle. Another mistake I see with dumbbell lateral raises is kind of like lifting up like this. But when you lift the dumbbells up, you want to think about leading with your elbows and your pinkies. So your pinkies are almost pointing to the top of the ceiling. So when I'm doing these slow and controlled. I'm leading with my elbows and pinkies, and I'm also not using momentum like this. You don't want to bounce the weight up. You want to do it slow and controlled. Again, think about leading with your elbows and pinkies. And you're going to do 3 sets of 12. Next is going to be tricep dips. You can do these on a chair, a couch, or a table, just something that's very sturdy. And with this, you actually want to do as many as you can. So 3 sets AMRAP, which is as many reps as possible. So if you are more advanced and you want it to be a little bit harder, you can have your legs out like this, straight, and then you want to slowly come down as far as you can and slowly push up. Do not lock your elbows out at the top. Keep a slight bend. If this is a little challenging, it's easier if you have your legs bent like this because you have a bit more support, and you can gradually work to slowly inching out your feet more and more over time. Next, we are doing incline push-ups. Again, 3 sets, AMRAP, as many reps as possible. So you want to get something very sturdy, like the end of a table or a chair. And when I'm coming down, I'm putting my legs out, and I like having my feet not together, but a little bit like shoulder width apart. And when you're doing these, you want to think about retracting your shoulder blades and having your chest more up. You don't want to be rounded like this. You want to retract up and be sturdy like this with your posture. And then I'm slowly lowering myself down and I'm simply pushing up, but you don't want to lock your elbows out at the top. So you're going to come down slowly and do as many reps as you can. And finally, we are going to do alternating front raises. So you're going to do 10 on each side, 3 sets. So when we're doing these, I like to think pulling the dumbbell up to my eye level. And I'm also kind of putting it a little bit in front of my body. I'm not putting it like straight out to the front. I'm kind of making a little bit of an angle when I pull the dumbbell up. And so you want to do these again, slow and controlled, not using momentum, and you're going to do them alternating. We are moving on to day 3, which is our second lower body workout. Okay, so we are going to start by doing some stiff-legged sumo RDL deadlift variation. So it's pretty much just like an RDL, but instead you have the sumo stance. So your feet are going to be past hip width apart. Your toes are slightly pointed out. And it's going to be the same exact thing as an RDL. So you're going to retract your shoulder blades, make sure your chest is up. With my knees slightly bent, I'm going to push my hips back and I'm slowly coming down just right below the knee and then slowly coming up. So you're going to do 4 sets of 12. Make sure you are really using your glutes and keeping the dumbbell as close to your body as you can. And you'll also notice I'm barefoot. This way you can actually push through your feet correctly. Next exercise, which unpopular opinion, I hate these more than Bulgarians. Okay, we're doing walking lunges, aka death. So you're gonna do 12 down and 12 back. But when I do these, you wanna do these very slow and controlled and take wide stances. So you don't wanna come like this and do them like this. Like step out as wide as you can, slow on the way down, have your knee, your back knee is tapping the ground. Then you're gonna stand up and you're gonna go again. So we're doing 12 down, 12 back. Next is a dumbbell sumo squat. You're gonna do 4 sets of 12. So same sumo stance as earlier. So you wanna have your feet past hip width apart, your toes are pointed out. And when I'm doing these, I'm holding the dumbbell like this in the middle of your legs. And then you're going to slowly squat down, hold for 1 second at the bottom, and then push up. But notice how I do not lock my knees out at the top. I'm just simply standing up. You also don't need to squeeze your glutes at the top either. This is the peak tension of the movement down here. So it doesn't make sense to squeeze your glutes at the top. So slow and controlled, make sure you're pushing through your midfoot. Next, we are doing reverse lunges. You're gonna do 3 sets of 10 on each side. So you're gonna hold your dumbbells and you're just simply going to lunge back on one side. And you wanna tap your back knee to the ground and you wanna slow on the way down and then push through. And you should be feeling this really in your glutes and quads. Also notice I'm slightly hinging at the hips forward with my torso forward. And when you're lunging down, make sure your knee doesn't go in or out. You wanna always have your knee in alignment with your toe. And you're gonna do all reps on one leg before moving on to the next. And finally, we're gonna do dumbbell calf raises. You're gonna do 2 sets of 20 reps. And so you're gonna have your feet shoulder width apart and you're simply just going to hold the dumbbells and just do a calf raise. So make sure you are doing these really slow and controlled. You don't want to be bouncing like this. You want to do them slow and controlled and really feel that stretch in your calves. We are now on to our 4th and final workout, which is our pull day. So this is back and biceps. And you're first going to start with a dumbbell bent over row with 2 dumbbells. So you're going to do 4 sets of 10. But the way you want to do these is you're going to have your feet shoulder width apart and you want to think about doing an RDL. So your body looks like you're doing an RDL. So I'm hinging at the hips. I'm keeping my back straight and I'm slowly going to pull the dumbbells back and up. But notice how I'm pulling them back towards my hip. You don't want to pull straight up like this. You want to pull back towards your hip and do these slow and controlled. Next, we are doing some bicep curls. You're going to do 3 sets of 12 here. So I have my palms facing out like this, and I'm slowly going to curl the dumbbells up, and you want to really slow and control on the way down. I'm also keeping my elbows are pinched to my side. So 3 sets of 12 reps. And make sure you don't come all the way up like this. You want to just keep your elbows tucked in. You don't need to come all the way up here. You can stop right here. And next, we're jumping straight into alternating hammer curls. So you're gonna do 3 sets of 12, which is gonna be 6 on each side. So this time you're gonna have the dumbbells facing forward in more like a neutral grip, and you're just gonna do 1 at a time. So you're gonna curl up here, just stop right here. You don't need to come all the way up here. Keep your elbow pinched to your side, and then I'm gonna do the other side slow and controlled. And this one, you should be able to go a little bit heavier because you're doing 1 arm at a time. Next, we're gonna do a dumbbell bent over flies. You're gonna do 3 sets of 15 here. Now with these, you wanna go really light. I'm using 5 pounds because these are pretty challenging and these can be a pretty tricky movement. So what you want to do is, again, act like your body is doing an RDL. So I'm going to hinge at the hip like this, and you want to have your chest almost parallel to the ground. So you should not be up here like this or right here. I'm like pretty far down over, and then I'm going to kind of make a triangle behind me with the dumbbells. So I'm pulling my arms back and up towards the back corners of the room. So again, you're kind of making the shape of a triangle, and you want to stop just right here. You don't want to keep going all the way up or else you're going to hurt your shoulder, and you should be feeling these in your rear delt. So it's the back of your shoulder, which is a tiny muscle group, so it will be hard to feel at first, but just keep a slight bend in your elbows and do these very slow and controlled. Finally, we're gonna do Superman pulls. These are body weight exercises, but don't underestimate them. They are kind of challenging. So we're gonna do 2 sets of 20 reps, and you're gonna start on your stomach like this, and then you're gonna lift your legs, your feet, and your arms up at the same time, and you're gonna hold for 2 seconds and then come down. If you want to, you can also add in a little elbow thing like this, and you can do that for each rep. And you wanna do these very slow and controlled. Okay guys, next we're going into a single arm dumbbell row. Now you wanna use the back of a chair or a couch. I don't have that, I only have this pole thing. So we're being ghetto today, but pretend this is like a couch or something. So you're going to grab onto your couch, you're gonna grab your dumbbell, and you wanna have a wide staggered stance like this. This is how I like to do them. You can also do them with your feet together, but I just feel like I can get more range of motion when I'm like this. So you're gonna hinge forward at the hips, you're gonna bring the dumbbell in front of you, and then you're gonna slowly pull back towards your hip. So you don't wanna pull straight up, you wanna think pull back and up towards your hip. So you're gonna do 3 sets of 12 on each side. Well, you guys, that wraps it up for the at-home workout split to get lean. But remember, you gotta be consistent with this, and you need to make sure that you have the right macronutrient split for your goals, or else this will not work. It's not just about eating less or doing a diet or fasting. It's about making sure you're eating the right amounts of protein, carbs, and fat for your body. I can't tell you how much to eat because I don't know much about you to determine what your macros should be. But if you want to see how we get our clients results like this and how you can actually have a customized blueprint for your body and goals to get lean and lose fat and build muscle, then make sure you check out the description. I linked another free video for you that explains exactly how we do this for all of our clients. So if this video was helpful, make sure you save it and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.